the way, if you're outside of the 1420 listening area, just go to www.jetbroadcasting.live. You'll be able to hear the station clear as a bell from wherever you are. That's what shortwave DJs will do. I used to, I once remember listening to a hard rock show on a shortwave radio, and I can't even remember what they called the show. They played Motorhead. That's what I remember, and it was obvious. His comment, and then he'd say, "I'm broadcasting to wherever you are." Shortwave. You could be in New Zealand for that matter, and hear from it and all that. Anyway, I told you I'd tell you about the Unicoi County players and what they were hitting for ETSU as take on the Lady Vols in the softball diamond in Johnson City today at 6 o'clock. Taylor Wright, the senior from Unicoi County, a 309 average. It's the third best average on ETSU. Meanwhile, Tiffany Logren is struggling with a 219 average. Of course, it's kind of a pitcher trying to play. Neil O'Donnell in Super Bowl 30 with an interception that has somehow defined his career, even though before history of pro football to throw a pick. I always thought he was a very underrated player. And I think it's because that's what people know him for, an interception in the Super Bowl. I don't think anyone has taken more of a rap because I think when I just, for an interception, because I think all of you, I don't know, maybe it's a Steelers thing or something, but I think all of you have said, okay, fatal interception in the Super Bowl. And again, maybe it's generational. Maybe it's because, I've held Steelers season tickets since 1996, which would have been actually the game after Neil O'Donnell threw the fatal pick. But I think it's the one that's the most famous. This was a game-losing interception. I think it has as much impact on the game as, say, certainly Craig Morton 10 years ago, 9 years ago, technically. Or one of the best, although not the best, but there are some people that put him in the top 5 mode. I don't. But, I can see, that is what is known as a franchise quarterback. So the Seahawks want to keep him around. They don't want to lose it. Franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees. My goodness, the Cincinnati Bengals still employ Andy Dalton. And not that Dalton's a poor QB. But that shows you about the Bengals would have won that playoff game against the Steelers if Andy Dalton had played. No, they say the Bengals are stupid unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And that's, Anyway, Russell Wilson's highest, here's what he gets. So if you're looking at hitting some people up for a few bucks, I mentioned, by the way, $65 million signing bonus. New deal keeps Wilson and the Seahawks through 2023 and makes him the highest paid player in the league. He had supposedly told the Seahawks, sign me yesterday or else, no, I'm going to pursue free agency. And they said, okay, we want to keep you around. His wife, Ciara, supposedly, you hear he's but no, he didn't like Seattle. And she wants to go to New York or, where she can resume her showbiz career, that sort of thing. But I think you can have your showbiz career even if Russell Wilson plays for the Seahawks, I mean, you think about this anyway. But no, I wonder, why doesn't Wilson get more flack than the other? He threw those picks in Super Bowl 5, You start thinking about the guy that lost his job to Roger Staubach. I mean, that's what you think of with Craig Morton, It's not, he cost Super Bowl 5 for the Cowboys. If anything, Tom Landry holding against Dwayne Thomas for fumbling at the goal line in the third quarter and then going exclusively to Morton is what cost him that game. Yes, the sainted Tom Landry. There you are. But there's a lot more that makes you think that they want to put him up there with Manning and all that about those guys that throw the fatal picks. And I'll say this. I understand why the Seahawks wanted to keep him around. I don't think Russell Wilson should be the highest paid player in football. Tom Brady, yes. Russell Wilson, no. Not at all. By the way, speaking of the Mannings, Eli Manning is reportedly, he's 38 years old now, and he's saying, yes, I do expect the Giants to pick a quarterback in the first round and possibly my replacement. So best on getting a young QB in the draft last year. Look for him to take one. Drew Lock, whoever, Kyler Murray if he drops. Although that's the one reach I think that we're going to have in this draft. I really don't see. I see the Cardinals being the Cardinals, and drafting Murray quarterback in the fold, and saying, well, we know what. One of those deals. All right, Tri-City Sports Now. Yeah, I'm going to tell you how baseball is like a Dirty Harry movie when we come back, and also some baseball history yesterday. I got it all for you on Tri-City Sports Now. We're coming back for our final segment after this.
Buttermilk is undoubtedly